Hey guys, so I thought I would talk about my New York City trip a little bit, show you basically what I purchased while I was there. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, you definitely should. What I did on Instagram while I was in New York was I basically, kind of vlogged while I was there on my Instagram stories. I'm still not completely comfortable doing like full vlogging, like pulling out my camera with like a little selfie stick and kind of like walking around, talking to myself basically, but I did show you basically my adventures and like took you along shopping and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that type of thing, definitely follow me on Instagram. My handle is down below in my description box. And so if you do follow me on Instagram, and if you did watch my live streams, some of this may be a little bit redundant, but not everyone watches live streams, which I totally understand, and not everyone follows me on Instagram or even caught my stories, which disappears after 24 hours. So I thought I would just do this kind of cumulative New York City haul, talk about my trip a little bit. I will move through some of these things really quickly because I don't want to be too repetitive here. So I wanted to tell you all about the Chanel Atelier Beauté, I think is what it's called. It is down in Soho, and I was actually at the Chanel Boutique, which is on Spring Street. And if you walk around the corner onto Wooster Street, it is there on the second floor. They have a little like sandwich board out on the sidewalk letting you know that they're there. And I had never seen this before. They had opened in January, was what I was told by the sales associate there. So they had been open since the beginning of the year, and basically it's just this space of all like Chanel skincare and makeup, and it's amazing. Like you walk in and there's lockers so you can like put your stuff away. You don't have to worry about it while you're trying out all the different makeup. And then you walk into this huge room and they have all of these vanities there with like huge mirrors all lit up, and they have everything you need. Makeup remover, the little cotton pads, little sponges, little applicators. So everything there stays hygienic. At each vanity, they have this little like pot where you can like throw all the applicators that you use, and they recycle them. So it's just a really awesome space, and it's perfect for those if you're like me and you just want to play with makeup and you don't want to be bothered, you don't want to be harassed by sales associates. It's amazing because they really leave you alone. They leave you alone. They're there, they're kind of talking to each other or whatever, so you know who to approach if you do have a question. And they also do like events at the space. Anyway, let me show you what I got there. I picked up 2 eye things and 2 lip things. So I picked up an Illusion d'Ombre in Mirage. Surprise, surprise, I did not have this. And if you're unfamiliar with this Chanel product, it's basically their potted eyeshadow. They have 2 versions. And the Illusion d'Ombre is the first kind, or the previous kind, I should say. And then they've come out with the Ombre Premiers, and they have a very different texture. I don't know if they're getting rid of these Illusion d'Ombres, because I feel like now when they come out with a new kind of cream potted shadow, it's in the Ombre Premier formula. So I don't know what they're doing with this particular line, but I really like it. The Ombre Premier shadows are a little bit denser. They're a little bit more like putty-like, and these are a little bit more spongy. And this is, did I tell you the color? This is in color Mirage. The only downside I want to say to this formula versus the Ombre Premier is I feel like these dry up a little bit more quickly. Actually, I've heard people complain about the Ombre Premiers drying up. So I don't know, I guess it kind of depends, but I feel like I have not as good luck with these Illusion d'Ombres than I do with the Ombre Premiers. So anyway, this is the color Mirage. And then the other eye product I got is an Ombre Premier, but one of their powder shadows. And this is in the color number 34. Isn't that amazing? You guys know how much I love gold shadow. And these Ombre Premier powder shadows are really good. They're really good. So there is number 34. And then I picked up 2 lip colors. So I picked up a crayon, and I am not a fan. I have like a packaging pet peeve of crayons that have the cap that just sort of sits on top, because I feel like they eventually stretch out and then they just kind of start falling off all by themselves, and that makes me nuts because then you can't just throw it in your purse. But anyway, I decided to get this because I fell in love with the formula and the color. So this is their Jumbo Longwear Lip Crayon in color number 22, Natural Brown. And I know they have at least one other formula, which is a matte, but this is like their creamy satin kind of formula. So here is Natural Brown, and I feel like this is just going to be perfect for the upcoming fall season. I really do like a brown lip, and this is definitely on the more moisturizing side. You can actually see it kind of shiny there. And then the other lip product that I got is something I actually talked a lot about on my live stream, but this is the Le Rouge Duo Ultra Tenue, and I got it in the color Tender Rose. So this is that duo lip product. It basically has the pigment on one side, and then it has like a gloss on the other. But what's really interesting about this particular formula is that it is very, very long wearing. You will not have to like reapply this lipstick all day, pretty much all day through meals or whatever. It stays put, but you put the pigment down, you let that set, I want to say a couple minutes at most, maybe a minute, I'll say a minute, and it feels really sticky, and then you put the gloss on top. And I always thought it was kind of a crock. I'm like, how are you going to put a gloss on top and then that's what makes it long wearing? But somehow that's what they did. So you put this clear gloss on top, and what that does is it sets the color down and it takes that stickiness away. And again, I mean, I thought, I was like, all right, I just put gloss on, like, let me test this. And I went and I like ate, I drank, I did all this stuff. I met a friend for lunch, and my lipstick didn't move. This did not move, not 1 inch. It didn't budge at all. So I had an idea when I was in New York. I wanted to do a wear test with this when I came back, for those of you who maybe have not experienced this sorcery, because it is incredible. And so my thought was I would do like a mukbang with this on, like just a really, really greasy kind of mukbang, and just do a chill, maybe like a Q&A or something, and then we will see after that that the lipstick is still on. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know down below in the comment section that you would be into something like that, because I was very skeptical. At least 2 or 3 people were like, oh, if you don't like liquid lipsticks but you want something long wearing, you have to try this. And I was like, whatever, it's not going to be comfortable. I know the drill. Like, everyone says it's comfortable and it's going to be drying on my lips. No, those are amazing. So that's what I got at the Chanel boutique. I decided to meet a friend up at the Barney's on Madison Avenue there, and I ended up getting a pair of shoes that I cannot wait to wear. They're not exactly summer friendly, but they're very, very appropriate for fall. So I got these Gucci flats. They're so funny to me. They feel like carpet, and I just love a good, masculine loafer. And I pulled these out and showed them to my husband. He was like, wow, he's like, those are so, and he couldn't think of it. And I was like, Hugh Hefner? He's like, yeah, they're so Hugh Hefner. And I was like, can't you just see me wearing these with like a red silk robe or something? He was like, yeah, I can definitely see that. So I'm size 38.5, just FYI. I'm sure you guys were dying to know my shoe size. And they're so comfortable, because they're already kind of like broken in, because they're just this like soft fabric. So I'm really excited for fall to come so I can whip those out. Oh, and so many of you asked me, so I actually posted a picture on my Instagram. I'll flash a picture up here of it. But I went to Bottega Veneta because I was at the main flagship Saks on 5th Avenue. Oh, and by the way, they completely renovated, or they're kind of slowly renovating the entire store, but the first 2 floors completely renovated. So the second floor now is like all beauty. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. You have to go up there. And then the first floor is basically just handbags and accessories. And so I was walking along the first floor, and you know when something just catches your eye? I like did this whole like double take, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was this gorgeous bag, and it was in this little display. And I looked up quickly and I saw that it was the Bottega Veneta section, and I thought, that's weird. That doesn't look like Bottega Veneta. I don't see like that woven leather on it or whatever, but I made a mental note of it and whatever, and I met my friend. And then actually right before I went to Barney's, I went to the Bottega Veneta boutique on Madison Avenue. So I posted on Instagram, I was like, should I get this bag? Because I fell in love with it. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was structured, and it was actually really big. It was very, very wide, but kind of flat. And it had this beautiful gold buckle, and it came with a leather strap, but you could purchase the gold chain, and the gold chain was extra. So I really wanted the bag. Like, I was dying for this bag, but I talked myself off the ledge, because it's not like a very kind of like throw around kind of bag, because it was very structured, very, very structured. And then the gold matte hardware made it look very, very, it just really, I guess, like elevated the whole thing. The new creative director behind Bottega Veneta actually came from Celine, and you can see like all of the influence and how he's kind of like updating Bottega Veneta and the changes. And if you're into handbags and shoes and ready to wear, definitely check out the new fall Bottega Veneta collection, because I think Daniel Lee is the name of the creative director. He has really brought them to like the present day and really, really modernized the brand and everything. So I passed on the bag. I thought, you know, if I was still working in corporate America, I would get it. I would use it every single day, not a problem. It wouldn't look strange. It would look totally appropriate. But now I work from home. So anyway, I passed on that handbag. So many of you are asking me, like, did you get it? Did you get it? That's not to say I may not get it in the future, but I did pass on it in New York. I basically just was like, let me just not. It's probably why I bought the shoes. I needed to like fill that void somehow. So anyway, I also stopped into Hudson Yards. So Hudson Yards basically sprung up since I moved away from New York. There was like one building there, like one commercial like office building there before I moved. But before I moved, it was just like the old rail yard. And so everyone's been talking about, oh my God, have you been to Hudson Yards? Have you been to Hudson Yards? And I'm like, no. I didn't even know what to expect. I knew that the Vessel was there, which is this huge like architectural sculpture. It's amazing. But I didn't realize that there was actually like a gigantic mall there. I thought maybe there would be a few stores. I heard that like everyone was like, oh, Neiman Marcus is there. I thought maybe it was just going to be kind of like a small boutique version of it. No, there's like a gigantic mall there. I had no idea. So I went and actually met a friend of mine that I've met online, and I finally got to meet him in person. So that was an exciting day and such a fun day. But I did want to show you some things that I did purchase while I was there. We did stop into the Neiman Marcus there, and that's when I saw the Takai collection displayed, but they were only selling it pre-order, not live. But up until this point, I had only packed one perfume, and that was fine. But I had been wanting to pick up one of my favorite scents, the Maison Francis Kurkjian Aqua Universalis. This is the one that I probably wear the most often these days, and I just missed it, and I really wanted it, and I thought I should pick up the travel size anyway. So it comes in a box of 3, and it just looks like this. They're meant to go into a travel case, like you can just slip this in there, but you can just kind of carry this around all by itself. It is glass, so it is fragile, but you know, I've traveled with it and I just throw it right into my makeup bag and it's fine. So I picked that up at Neiman Marcus. And Muji is also at Hudson Yards. So Muji is a Japanese store and they carry inexpensive stuff. Like, I don't know what else to call it. It's almost like that section of IKEA that you kind of like walk through. It's between like the furniture displays and then like where you actually go and like pick up the boxes of stuff. It's like that section on steroids, and it has that Japanese aesthetic, so everything is really, really clean and tidy looking, and it just makes you want to organize your life and get your shit together. It's so cool. So I got suckered into a couple things while I was there because everything just looks so beautiful. But I did get a few things for my trip to Japan and everyone was like, wait until you're Japan, it's so much cheaper in Japan. And I'm like, but I need it for Japan. So anyway, I got some packing cubes from Muji. So they like fold into themselves. And this is the gusset case double small in the color light gray. And it just unravels. And so here is the cube. So on one side, this is the cover. It's like this mesh netting. And then on the other side is this pocket. So it's basically, it's double-sided. And then I got another one that is not double-sided. It's just a small packing cube. I thought this would be better for like t-shirts and stuff, while that one was maybe better for like underwear, smaller things. So this is the smaller gusset bag. So it's basically like the other one, but without the double side. So it's great if you have like taller things too, because the height of it isn't split in two. So that's how tall the gusset bag is. And then I picked up this little wash mitt. I thought that would be really handy when I go to Japan because I'm kind of like city hopping and I'm going to be staying at least in I know definitely in Kyoto I'm staying in a hostel. So I know it's like really tight quarters and they have like a really tiny shower. Anyway, I just thought this would be kind of handy. And then I picked up, and I definitely Instagram storied this, but I got some cotton buds, but they're black and I love them. So there's 200 in here and it was $3.50. And I like the Muji Q-tips. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced Muji Q-tips before, but they're firmer than our Q-tips. So there's like a little bit less cotton at the top and like the actual stick is like firmer. So I feel like you can really get in there. I just love the feeling of cleaning my ears with the Q-tip. I know it's not the best. I know you should definitely not stick them in there, but I really love running it up and down here. It just feels so good. And when they're a little bit firmer, they feel even better. I think that's all I got from Muji. I kind of stopped myself because, again, I'll be in Japan soon, and things I think are a little bit less expensive there. So anything else I saw that I was attracted to, I was like, let me just get it there. Some other kind of random things I got while I was in New York. Muse Beauty Pro was actually so kind in sending me the Visi Art palette in New York. They said, oh, you know, we're shipping out this palette to you. We hope you like it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be in New York for 2 weeks. And they were like, oh, well, we could send it to you there. I was like, oh my God, could you? And they did. I couldn't believe it. They're the best. Muse Beauty Pro is the best. They're so sweet. Their customer service is top notch. They're just amazing. So anyway, I did get this while I was in New York, and I was able to use it. I used this, I think, during my Get Ready With Me in NYC. But if you guys want a full review of this, I could totally do that for you. But if you didn't catch Kinky Sweat, Kelsey Brianna J, and Mel Thompson, I think all three of them have done videos on this palette. So if you're interested in taking a look at their videos, I think they've done like very detailed, amazing videos on this palette if you want to check that out. But let me know if you want me to do it. I'd be happy to. Let me know down below in the comment section. I also picked up the Rms Buriti Bronzer. This I also used in my Get Ready With Me in NYC, and I really enjoy it. This is, I think, the most unique bronzer color I have because it has like a purpley undertone to it. Let's see if you can see that. I guess, I don't know, maybe the purple kind of comes out when I apply it to my cheeks. Maybe like if it's shadowed, it looks a little bit more purpley, but it's so interesting and I really love it. It's very cool toned, but it also has this sheen in there that kind of makes it look warm too. Like it's a really interesting like color. It's really cool. All right. I'm realizing this haul video is so random, so I apologize if you're only here to see makeup, but we're gonna move into stationery now. I stopped into Yoseka Stationery. This is a stationery store that is in Sunnyside, Queens. It's off of the 7, and if you're interested, I think it's, what stop did we get off at? I think it was Bliss. 46th. Anyway, it's in Queens. You can look it up, Yoseka. I will leave their name down below in the description box. But it's this tiny store, but they're jam-packed with the most amazing pens, pencils, washi tape, stationery, paper, notebooks, just everything. And I'm not as much of a stationery fiend as I have been in the past. I really have gone very electronic, but I do have a weakness for it. So I had been eyeing these Midori Traveler's notebooks for a very long time. This is what they basically look like. They have 2 sizes, this one and a smaller one. It's like almost half size. And basically there's actually not much to them, but there's like a cult following with these notebooks. So it's like this leather cover, and it has this elastic band that keeps it closed. And it comes with one notebook, this one, but you can buy all these different inserts. So I got this one, which is good for like business cards. And then I got this one that's like a Ziploc bag, which I thought would be really handy. And oh, this is my first entry into my traveler's notebook, but this is Yoseka. So this is the name of the stationery store that I went to. They were actually celebrating their 1-year anniversary, which is so amazing. They're doing really well, which is nice to see in New York. It's hard to open up a business in New York City, and they're doing it, and they're doing it really well. So Yoseka, their year 1. Anyway, I was just kind of doodling, and I was in Queens at Yoseka that day, and then I actually went down to Brooklyn. I took the G down to Brooklyn that day. So anyway, that's just me doodling, and I even bought this traveler's notebook clip and this pen. And you know, like I said, I basically keep everything electronically in terms of like to-do lists or my calendar and things like that. But I wanted to kind of start keeping more of like a journal. Like I really haven't drawn or painted for myself. You know, I do it for knitwear design, but I haven't done it for myself in a really long time. So I don't know. I was hoping this would kind of force me into just kind of picking up my pencil and like doodling again, which I really miss, and I haven't done in a while. And I got these little like number tab stickers that you can throw onto the sheets to kind of give yourself a little like bookmark. Oh, and I got these stickers too. So this is like a giant post-it note, but it has the 7 days of the week on there. And I thought that would be really neat if I wanted to just write down, you know, what I did that day, just kind of as like a memory keeper. And then because of that, I really fell down a rabbit hole. I ended up getting this little Canon Ivy printer. Now, what this printer does is it works with that zinc photo paper. So this zinc photo paper is basically like tonerless photo paper. So this doesn't need a toner. All the toner is actually in each sheet, and this has some sort of, I don't know if it's heat, or I guess it's heat or something that basically brings a color out in this paper, and that's how you print out a picture. And so this paper is like business card size, and there's stickers. So it's like the perfect thing if you want to just like hook up to your iPhone and print out a picture and then just like stick it into your little journal or notebook. I just thought this would be so, so cool for Japan, because I know I'm going to be taking a lot of pictures on my iPhone, and you know, when they're just sitting on my iPhone, I don't necessarily go back and look at them too much. So I wanted to sort of memorialize it all in this traveler's notebook with these pictures. So I'm really excited for this. This is so light, and it's actually really amazing. I printed out a few tests, and I think I left them in New York. But anyway, let me just, oh, actually, this is actually a very good comparison. So here's the Visi Art Palette, and it's a little bit smaller than the Visi Art Palette. It's thicker, but it's a little bit smaller, so super compact. I cannot wait to use this, and in fact, ever since I got home, I've been meaning to just kind of like pull this out and print out some pictures of Miss Fuzzy Butters and put in there, but I haven't had the time. So anyway, I picked that up also while I was in New York. All right, and the last thing I'll bore you with is a bag that I got at Baggu. So I think I mentioned Baggu in my favorites video. So Baggu is a bag store, and they're started in San Francisco, but they do have a boutique in Williamsburg in Brooklyn. So I stopped by there after the stationery store, and I wanted to get a bag that I could pack to Japan, but then I could fill up and check in or carry on, whatever I end up doing, but a bag that I could basically fill up while I'm in Japan. So I decided on this tote. So they have it in different colors. Of course, I picked it up in black. It's very big, but it has like a little pocket here in between the handles. There are two sets of handles. So you have like the over the shoulder handle, and then you actually have a handle where you can hold it in your hand, which I thought was awesome. And then it zips closed at the top, which was important, especially if I wanted to check it in. And then it has this inside pocket, which actually unsnaps, and you can fold up the bag and tuck it away into this bag and zip it closed, and that's it. So I'm going to be packing the bag like this, and I cannot wait to fill it up with goodies in Japan. I'm so excited. So it's just come in really, really handy too. Actually, when I was in New York, I used this when I went up to my friend's lake house outside of New York, and it was great. It's a little big for overnight, but it's perfect for like a long weekend. It's so great. It's so handy. And this is like a nylon material, and I know Baggu uses like a certain percentage of recycled fibers in their materials. So it's really, really awesome. All right, that is it. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comments section. Everything I talked about will be listed down below in my description box. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.